Tony, how do you kind of sum up just how close this group got to getting where you wanted to go?
Yeah, I mean, we saw it. We saw the same game. We watched the same game. I'm not sure you could have asked for a more textbook ending. I would have preferred if it was maybe, a 2-point game. But we made some silly mistakes down the stretch. I thought Jared's contest he was right in his spot, and he probably just needed to be a little bit more just vertical, hands to heaven. And maybe he doesn't get that call, but that was, maybe we get a stop, and to end the first half, tip in. All those things come back to bite you in this game. And, I would have loved if we could have just literally, you take 1 or 2 possessions away on both ends. I think Woody's traffic pass, gave them the ball right back. All those little things, it bites you, especially against a good team like VCU, who's going to make you pay for it. But at the end of the day, you couldn't have asked for, a better finish. We had a chance. We had the opportunity. Only one team can win, and obviously VCU got the best of that tonight.
How remarkable is it in your mind? You guys were 6 of 26 on layups tonight, and were in it right to the very end. I know that was obviously a challenge inside, but what do you kind of make heads or tails of that?
Yeah, I'm not going to go there. I thought it was a physical game. It's on paper that Jalen Haynes is the best big in our league, and I don't care how big and physical he looks. When he gets hit, it's a foul. And again, a guy that's shooting 65, 70% from the field was 5 of 14 tonight. I thought we made some bonehead just decisions, even in traffic, when we could have been easier, and just kind of left points on the board. But, it's unfortunate because I got to figure out a way to make sure that I protect my guys. I ask him to do this, I ask him to do that. When he do it, sometimes it just looks like I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. And so it's unfortunate, but that's how the game goes.
Go to Marcus.
Hey, Coach, despite the loss, when you go back to that last play, just what does it say about the staff and the players that you get an unbalanced floor and make every correct decision to get that open 3-point shot, just about the team and about how well they are prepared in these situations?
Yeah, I got to credit Jalen Haynes. There's not a lot of time your 5-man gets a rebound or gets an outlet, pushes it up the floor in traffic in this type of chaos of a moment, and finds one of your best 3-point shooters for a shot, knowing we're down 3. I don't think there could have been a better decision there. And again, that's just kind of who these guys are when it comes down to it. We're not a team that necessarily takes care of the ball, but down the stretch, we seem to find ways and make good decisions that puts us in a good spot. Again, we had 11 turnovers tonight. They had 16, and, there's a little bit of a discrepancy somewhere in here. I don't know how you turn the ball over 16 times, and, again, it's a tough one, down the stretch there.
And as a coach, how do you contain the frustration? Throughout the game, it's obvious there were times there was frustration on the floor with some of the physicality. Just how in the moment do you control not only the players but control the staff to keep things in front of you that are important?
Yeah, I think you have to pick and choose your battles. And, I'm a competitor. I'm growing as a coach, but I still have the tenacity that my team has and the identity that I expect them to have. And so I've got to have my poise as well. I only got 1 technical foul this year, and I don't think I should have got it. And, anytime you're able to keep that poise, I think these guys get it. They understood the assignment. They wanted it just as bad as everyone in the gym and obviously our staff and the university. But like I said, man, it's a 1-possession game down the stretch. I don't even know how they got free throws down there with 0.5. I don't know what happened at that point, to be honest with you. So as I look at this score sheet, I see a 5-point game. I still got to go back and look at that. But, again, I thought these guys did everything possible. Got down 8 at halftime. It's hard to work that back against a VCU team who's so physically imposing. And but we battled right there. And, they led for pretty much the whole game, and we were right there. But it's a great college basketball game, man, but only one person can, walk away with the victory.
Go on the platform in the back.
Coach, you've put a very impressive resume together for the NCAA committee to look at. what would you circle or highlight to make sure they see when they're making their selections coming up in a few minutes?
Well, I honestly, and I spend a lot of time, looking at certain things, and my staff does as well. I'd love to know when the last time an A10 team won 26 games and did not get in the NCAA tournament. Maybe you guys can help me out here. Getting 15 conference wins, and for it to come down to the wire in a championship game from a resume standpoint, yeah, I don't know. I don't have the answers clearly because I think this is an NCAA tournament team. And credit to VCU. I think that's a team that, I wouldn't want to be playing them in the NCAA tournament. And for us to be, sharing the title of this conference, yeah, I'm lost on that because I think we should be playing on Thursday or Friday.
Go second row in the middle.
Coach, I remember asking you after the St. Joe's game at Eagle Bank about the parallels between your team in 06 and the current team. And you got a bit annoyed at me because it can be a bit redundant.
Yeah.
But the thing that stood out to me was that you talked about how you want these players to write their own story. As a coach, what does that story mean to you regardless of the result tonight?
It means a lot. These guys have been wearing the Team 59, hashtag Team 59. It's an idea I had to start the year because I thought we were going to be pretty good and I thought we could make some history. And I wanted to separate their story from ours. All the time I get asked about the Final Four. It was a great thing we did, but it's 19 years later. And I've got to be able to lead these guys, but also separate that history because I think these guys, they did something special as well. And those are the memories that I want them to be able to live with, want their families to be able to live with. They did something we did not do, even though we went to the Final Four. We didn't win our league. We didn't win 12 straight. And even with a Final Four run, it was only 27 games. We're one win away from having more wins in school history. And we're going to play basketball at some point in this postseason. I expect us to continue to play to earn some more wins, but these guys deserve it. They stay committed to it. And I think they should be playing in the NCAA tournament so they can write their own story because I think they can beat anybody in any place and anywhere. We did it at Dayton. We did it at St. Bonaventure. We did it at St. Louis, the toughest places to play in our league. And yet, we're having the same conversation.
And I just wanted to ask you about, just in general, how do you see the season as a whole? And obviously you're just a coach, you can't be out there on the floor, but what's it like to be at the helm of a team that not only has so much success but is so close?
Yeah, I think it's a blessing. I think that blessing started with our leadership. When Dr. Washington gave me the opportunity to take this job, the support and the vision that, our athletic director, Marvin Lewis, also gives me every day. It makes my job easier to be able to go out there and, just lead these young men. I'm young enough to get out there and practice and, maybe be a little bit too tenacious. But these guys feed off of it. My staff is phenomenal with the way that they help these guys prepare. And it's a major, major piece of why we're successful. These things just don't happen just because it happens. You've got to grind it out every single day. And, year one was pretty successful given the circumstances of a roster we had to put together in such a short time. And then we doubled down on it with this roster. It's going to be a challenge every single year because we know the ebbs and flows of the portal. However, I think it's safe to say that George Mason is in a good spot. And, we've still got a lot of basketball to play, and I'm going to graduate a bunch of seniors. And so if anybody's watching this press conference, come to George Mason. I'm going to let you boogie, and we're going to do some great things.
Dave.
Tony, Max Shulga had 12 of his 18 points in the second half. What was the approach today in trying to contain him, and how difficult is it to keep a guy like that in?
You're trying to get me in trouble, ain't you? Max Shulga is the best player in our league. And night in and night out, he makes it happen in different ways. I think for the most part, Jared did a good job on him. But, when you're 6'5" and you can do so many different things, he's a willing passer, he defends, he rebounds, he makes tough shots, he makes smart plays. He doesn't really turn the basketball over. And when a guy like that is on the floor for 37 minutes, you're in a good spot. That's why VCU is a good team. I thought initially I was trying to find ways to kind of put him in the box a little bit and get in some foul trouble, because if he sits and only plays 28 minutes, that's a different team. It didn't work because he played 36 minutes. But, you know, it's a big reason why they're, you know, as good as they are, and he's a phenomenal player.
Take one last one for Coach in the back.
Matt Moderno, Believe in DMV Hoops. Tony, at some point tonight, Jared hit a three, Woody hit a three, Darius came back down later, hit a three. What's it mean to do this with DMV guys that you got to transfer back home and to have them do this, you know, in their backyard?
It means the world, you know, to me as a DC guy. You know, again, I laugh about it because all those guys said no to me at one point because I recruited all of them, and that's just the full circle of basketball. It's hard to say no to a coach when you know didn't say you know, when you said no to him the first time and you want to be successful, and you know, that's just what the brand of DMV does. These guys are well coached in high school. They're well coached at AAU. Any kid that goes away and then for whatever reason ends up in the portal that fits George Mason, you know, we're going to have a chance to get them on the bounce back, and that's what happened with Woody. That's what happened with Darius, and obviously Jared as well. And so those guys are the heart and soul of this thing. They did it for us in year one and doubled down for it in year two. I wish, you know, we could have rewarded them with the NCAA tournament opportunity, but nevertheless, they're going to be, you know, those guys are family, and, you know, they'll be a part of this thing for a very, very long time.
Thank you, Coach.